As I make today's video, the United States Supreme Court this week has just struck down New York City's concealed carry restrictions, which means hopefully there'll be a lot more law-abiding people concealing and carrying firearms. So in today's video, I want to tell you what I think is, without question, the #1 concealed carry mistake that could get you killed. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. As I said, in today's video, we're going to talk about what I think is unarguably the #1 concealed carry mistake that could get you killed. If you carry a firearm, it is important to be honest with yourself and to be willing to admit if you're making these mistakes. I had to do some self-reflection several years ago and come to the sad realization that I wasn't nearly as prepared as I thought I was, and I started taking steps to try to resolve that. So I previously made a video that is actually my #1 viewed video on the channel right now, 3 concealed carry mistakes that'll get you killed. And as a brief recap, #1 of those was not carrying an extra magazine, because the magazine is the #1 point of failure for a semi-automatic firearm. Not carrying with a round in the chamber, because there's just numerous instances of that causing people to be shot and to lose the gunfight. And not getting some good training, because again, if you carry a firearm, it is a very serious responsibility, and you need to do everything you can to be as prepared and competent as possible. However, you can do all those things right, make sure you take care of all 3 of those, and still, if you make this biggest mistake ever, the #1 mistake I'm about to tell you, then none of those things matter. And that is not carrying your concealed carry firearm. Nothing else matters. You can be the most tactically trained, well prepared, have the best gun in the world. You can have a round in the chamber. You can have extra magazines. It doesn't matter if you don't have your firearm on you when you need it. I get all kinds of excuses. I hear people say things, the same excuses I hear for people not carrying with a round in the chamber, not carrying an extra magazine, not getting training. They're pretty much the same excuses that people make for not having their firearm with them. Basically, we as humans have a tendency to excuse our own mistakes and our own wrong assumptions. So, and everybody brings up statistics. Statistically speaking, I'll blah, 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 blah. You know, I carry when I think I might need it. If I'm going somewhere I think I might need it, then I'll carry, or I'll have this. Look, first of all, unless you're a police officer and you have to go somewhere you think you might need it, why are you going somewhere you think you might need a firearm? That just doesn't make sense. Just don't go there is the answer to that. Or I keep it in my car. Well, that's great if you spend all your time in your car, but if you get out of your car, you're no longer armed, and you're no longer able to defend yourself or your family. Or, hey, I'm just running to the store, running to here, I'll be back in a minute. Pick an excuse. They're all essentially the same. They're all just a reason to justify not carrying your gun, because it's uncomfortable, because it's a pain in the neck, because whatever. So let's just talk about statistics real quickly, because admittedly, the chances that you'll need your firearm ever in your entire life, most of us, are very low. But as the latest year I could find hard statistics for is 2019, so it's 3 years ago. But the U.S. population in 2019 was 328,300,000, and there were 1,203,808 violent crimes in the U.S. So that's about 1/3 of a 1% chance that you might be a victim of a violent crime. I know some of those might have happened to the same people, but bottom line, you got about a 1/3 of 1% chance. So that's really low. I get that. That's really low. Way higher, though, by the way, than you got a chance of winning the lottery, and people buy thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of lottery, billions of dollars worth of lottery tickets every year. Of those violent crimes, 16,425 were murders. There were 625,000 home invasions that year. None of those people, I assure you, none of them, or very minimal of them, ever expected to need to use their firearm that day. They probably weren't going somewhere they shouldn't have been. Many of them, certainly with that many of them weren't. But yet, they were faced with a situation suddenly, out of nowhere, unexpectedly, of needing to defend themselves potentially, or at least being under a violent attack, a threat of death. And the downside of that is you're almost always going to be in reaction mode. So there's no way that you're going to be able to plan for that. Again, if you could plan for it, you probably should plan to not be there. So anyway, I don't want to beat this dead horse, but I just know so many people personally that have guns. They have their concealed carry permits if they need them, but yet they don't carry them all the time. They just carry them sometimes. Look, the reality is you never, ever, ever know. And one of the things that brought this home to me, really inspired me to make this video is I was at gun sight, getting ready for the last day, and the last day is qualifying day, where you have some competitions and you have to shoot certain scores to try to get a certain rank when you're on your certificate. And I remember getting up thinking, okay, whew, today's the day. And then immediately it hit me, you know what? Any day and every day could be the day. And I want to remind you of that, because it is so important that you never ever know. And the Boy Scout motto, I was a Scoutmaster for 20 years, is be prepared. It's not be prepared sometimes, it's be prepared. So bottom line, there is absolutely, admittedly, an extremely low statistical probability that you will ever need your firearm. However, there is an extremely high probability that if you do, it will be unexpected, sudden, and nothing else but a firearm will solve your problem. So again, get some training if you're not competent or confident enough in your own competence to do that. That's it. Just remember, a concealed carry firearm, and the operative word here is carry. So I hope you're safe and your family's safe. Hope you have a great summer. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared, and I'll see you next time.